Hello again, Michael Williams, independent candidate for the upcoming Runcorn Helsby by-election, and I want to talk about this next leaflet from Labour. So this is the front, although it kind of opens up in an odd way. So there we go. First impressions of all of this is there's not a lot of red on it for a Labour leaflet. There's an awful lot of green, isn't there? It's probably similar to what we saw on the last one, where there's maybe a bit of distancing of the local candidate from the central party. Maybe, who knows. Anyway, so we go through Karen's plan for Runcorn and Helsby on these pages. It's pretty standard stuff. It's pledges that they've made elsewhere. Again, not a lot of detail, not a lot of exactly how and when and who. But the other question is, with a Labour majority in Parliament, well, if we vote for someone else, are these things not going to happen? You know, if a different MP gets in and they ask for exactly the same things, are you saying no? In which case you're kind of holding the country to ransom. Over here, so this is the main talking points. So we've got Dear Neighbour. Now, as I mentioned on the last video, Karen has taken a bit of flack for not living in the constituency, and I think she can probably just about call me a neighbour, even though it's probably a bit more than what you'd normally call your neighbours. Anyway, they've drawn in a lot here about, over the last few weeks, the feedback is clear, you want security. And then they've linked security into the points there. I don't know about you, I've spoken to a lot of people in the last 4 weeks, and not a single person has said to me, I'm really glad that Labour has boosted defence spending to 2.5% of GDP. That's not come up in conversations I've had with people. People might feel that, but it's a bit surprising that's the first one they've gone with. Obviously, it's something that they think will resonate, but there it is. Secondly, they've used the security idea for security at the borders. That, I think, is a very interesting way of phrasing it, because it's trying to, in my view at least, it's trying to appeal to people who are very much in the, deport all the migrants sort of camp. But also it's to placate the people in the, we're a little bit squeamish about people saying you should deport all the migrants. Security at the borders sounds a bit more acceptable to both camps. And it's also interesting that on all of these points, it's what Karen Shaw will do, but also Farage does this, Reform do this, Farage wants that, and Nigel Farage did this. So it's clear who they think that their main opponents is. And you'll notice there's nothing on here about, say, I don't know, the Conservatives. Next page, so this has some, personal words from some people. I'm not really going to focus on this just because, other people, I know they're in an election leaflet, but I don't really want to focus on other people. They've made their choices. I don't think it's fair to pick them out. And finally, back to this, which is sort of the front, but also sort of the back. Again, primarily, if you were looking at that and you squinted, you wouldn't think it was red. You'd say green, a little bit of blue. And then finally, this is sort of, I suppose, a summary. Bring back proper neighbourhood policing. I mean, I wouldn't have used the imperative tense because it sounds like she's asking us to do it. Karen Shaw is saying, bring back proper policing, get your local NHS back on its feet. It should be, Karen Shaw, I will bring back proper neighbourhood policing. Anyway, if you've seen the previous one, I did notice the punctuation and grammar on this was much better. So I would have given her a better mark if I had my red pen. But why do I have my red pen? Here it is. Okay, go on, I'll give you an A- on that one. Okay. Right, so that's the latest Labour one. The next leaflet I will be doing was by some weird joker called Michael Williams, who thinks he can get a leaflet out. And for fairness, I will be talking about that as well. But in the meantime, if you see anything or if you have received any other leaflets, then please send them to me and I will have a look. So until next time, thank you.